Omni X-Men back in the house. We're doing Magneto, new X-Men, head-to-head brawling, and I got Justin, KnowGood Comics here. How's it going, Justin?
What's up, John? I'm looking forward to this issue and hearing from you guys a little bit backstage. I'm very curious to see where all this discussion goes about this issue. But you know me, man. I love these Tuesday nights, Omni X-Men.
It's the best. And hey, it wouldn't be Omni X-Men without Chet either in the chat or on the panel. Yes, Part 2 of 3 with you, the Chedeye Master. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to see you guys again. Another night without Monday Night Football yesterday, and you got to crawl your way into the X-Men thread. Powerless, so to speak. But I'm glad to make it.
Nice.
So for those of you joining us for the first time, this is the weekly show I do with Justin where we're breaking down the Claremont X-Men run. We've been doing the omnibus right here, going issue by issue, and tonight we're doing issue 112. You need to subscribe to Justin's channel, which I linked down below, so that you can make sure whenever we're doing the odd-numbered issues, we're bouncing back over to his channel and checking it out. Tonight, there it is. There's the beast from Chet. You got the 9/6 white pages double signed.
Off-white to white.
Woo.
I didn't notice.
Me either.
So great.
So you subscribe to Justin over there. You can catch the content when we bounce over to his channel next week for issue 113, which is the finale of this trilogy of issues. Mm-hmm. I put Chet's Instagram in the description below, too, so you can follow Chet where he's posting some incredibly high-grade signed X-Men books.
Thank you again, guys.
Incredible.
Unbelievable. Yes. And yes, I totally agree. Yes, Chet rocks. Absolutely.
Boom.
Who said that? Lasso, my buddy? Thank you, Lasso. You rock as well.
Let's say hello to this chat. We got PJ King out there. Hello, sir. Tailgate with Todd Christian.
Big Todd.
Chaos is here.
Nice.
So Chaos.
We got Brandon from Comics Kings. Thanks, Brandon. We got to get you back on the show again here, man.
Yeah.
Magic Lasso says, Omni time. Sorry, but Comic Head is still neater than Magneto. Ooh, that's a hard take. Hello, Chet is on. He is here. We got Hillbilly Comics.
My boy Bryce.
And we got Jackson Roy Kirk. Yo Joe, call back to a few weeks back, right? When the team had like a Yo Joe moment at the end of the issue. Absolutely. Beta Ray Jim says, I'm such a huge fan of this cover. Magneto using Volvy's claws against him is John Byrne can do no wrong. He did not do this cover though. Not really involved on this one. But there's like 4 names involved on this cover.
Byrne, Austin, George Perez, and Layton did the cover.
The thing I read online said Dave Cockrum did the layout for this cover, and then a bunch of other people tinkered with it. I don't know if he's getting credit on the slab.
His name's not on here one time.
Shocker! There we go. We got Azores. How's it going, man?
What's up, Eric?
And I think I clicked over Beta Ray Jim, but hello, Beta Ray Jim. And let's see, is that everybody? Do we get everybody?
Kachung, I see Kachung down there.
There he is. Dave, good to see you. Sleepy over here on the couch. Just lay out. Just relax. And enjoy the hangout time. Chet has the 9/6 Stanley Claremont sign. Gandhi and Jesus on it. Yeah, everybody's all the greats.
Pretty much.
All the best. Right there.
That's great.
Mine is raw, but it's a pretty nice copy, I think, overall. So I'm happy with the colors. I think it looks really sharp overall.
Look, it's a fantastic book, graded or not. Just don't touch it, and we're good.
So yeah, let's do first impressions. I know Chet backstage was like just all heart eyes on this. So let's hear from Chet first. What are your thoughts on this issue? Could you give it a grade out of 10? What are you thinking here?
You're asking the X-Men shill to grade something less than a 10. No matter how bad it is. Do I have to bring you back to X-Men 110 where I'm still like this and you guys are like, all right, well, look, seriously. All right, 111 kind of woke me up. I mean, I never knew who Mesmero was. I never knew who Magneto was. At this point, I still don't know who Magneto is because these are my first 3 sets of, X-Men books. But when I got to 112, man, seeing everything he said, the past, what's going on, you ain't going to live, you're going to die, blah, blah, blah. I was like, this guy's serious. And it progressed into a nice fight. And ultimately, whatever happened, happened. But in my eyes, this book could do no wrong. I got to give it at least a 9.9. I mean, yeah, I'm extremely biased, and I love the book that much.
I think books that you read at pivotal times in your life have greater impact, just like a movie, a play, or whatever that you see at the right time, a song you hear. So clearly, this was foundational in your comic book.
Absolutely, that's the best way to put it. It literally was the concrete base for everything else I would read in regard to him. And of course, the characters. So, I mean, there was a lot of building done in this book.
And Jackson Roy Kirk mentioned something I saw as well, that George Perez worked on this cover. I heard the rumor that George Perez, I don't know if he's getting credit on that slab too.
He's signed on there. His
Perez and Layton did the cover.
Layton, yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting to kind of see all the names. It was like I'd never seen an X-Men cover with so many names associated with it.
Wow. I mean, I never really looked back. I'm over here. I was always, hey, that's John Byrne. Little did I know.
What about you, Justin? What are your take on? What's your take on this book?
So I initially, before I reread, because this is my second time going through all these books, I was gonna say, I from what I could recall, I thought it was like an 8.5, maybe a 9. After rereading it, I loved it even more so than what I remember it from the first time around. Easily a 9.5, or if we're going by grades, go with a 9.6, like Chet has there. I mean, everything from the artwork to the action to seeing more of Magneto dominance. I mean, this is why I love 104 so much, is just to see his confidence and just his dominance in everything. And especially seeing guys like Wolverine who still just don't have a clue, that they just are not, they don't have a shot. Now I will say I do see some little things that I could see someone nitpick at for sure in this book. So, but I'll leave it at that. John, what did you think of the book?
I'm the nitpicker. That's what I'm here for. I will say, like, as much as I loved issue 111, I felt like 112 was almost like they wanted to wipe that away and like, no, don't worry about any of that. We're gonna do something totally different now. We're gonna forget what you just read. That's not important. That stuff's not important. And that frustrated me as a reader. I was like, well, why are we hitting the reset button like so soon after such a great issue? That was so for me. I was let down by a lot of it. There was a ton of monologuing, and the action was the action at the end made up for a bunch of it for me. Like the action was where it got strong for me. But there's also some ridiculous stuff, i.e. flying wagons, that I'm just like, I can't get over the flying wagon. You're never going to sell me on the genius of Magneto's flying wagon. It's just ridiculous.
Come on, man. It's inside a magnetic force bubble. He's Magneto.
I'm gonna let you out of here. I'll let you guys go at it.
No, it's okay. I'll wait till after the podcast is over, and then I'll call you.
John, I can't be on your shows ever again.
I would never do that.
It's done. Thank you for coming, Count Von Strange and Jennifer from Comic Books Will Break Your Heart. If you're an indie fan of comics and you're not following Jennifer or Dan over at Comic Chop News, you're missing some great content, great knowledgeable people who know good indies. So shout out to those guys. Robot Nanny, right? Gotta love Robot Nanny, although she doesn't really do much in this. It's the next issue. If you like Robot Nanny, stick around. That's going to get real. Let's see here. So let's share. Let me screen share. I forgot to do that beforehand. Let me screen share the slideshow here and get that up and running.
All right.
And here we go. So we were talking about the cover. Chet, I know you're a big fan of this cover. What is it that you love about this cover?
Look at what's going on. Nobody else is winning but Magneto. I guess, put it this way. The rest of the team didn't make the cover. So I guess in this sense, they're giving you the sense that, not many people are going to be around to help anybody else. So you got Wolverine struggling with claws in his face, Master of Magnetism, tons of metal in the human. Then you got the other metal guy up at the top. Metal guy, master of magnetism.
Yeah.
And then you got Storm, like, oh my God, what do I do with this guy?
Right.
You know, so look at how well it's drawn. I mean, I never knew that this wasn't a Byrne cover, but now I'm even a little more excited knowing that it is a George Perez. You know, I guess the only other George Perez cover I have is Annual 4. And that's Miller and Perez. This one, though, I mean, I love this cover. They got the power around his head, the colors changing. You got the Kirby dots with his magnetic powers coming out of his hands. I dig it.
What about you, Justin? What are your thoughts on this cover here?
So when I first saw this cover, I immediately thought back to the original films and that scene where I was almost like waiting for that, where he essentially like, you know, puts Wolverine's, you know, fists to his own chest, crosses, you know, it looks, I mean, it basically looks like that, like it's about to happen.
Like the film, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's an awesome cover. Definitely, as Chet was saying, like Magneto is he is a beast on this. And I don't know why. I like seeing that, just that dominance coming from.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's great motion. The movement on the cover is really strong. And it highlights the fundamental flaw in Xavier choosing two guys with like metal laced bodies to fight against their ultimate nemesis who controls metal. There's a Saturday Night Live sketch of like Xavier interviewing people for the X-Men, and he's interviewing all these people. Like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think this is a good idea.
Oh, really?
There's like
I've never seen that.
It's hilarious. If you search it, you'll find and they're each one. He's like, and it's Xavier being a complete douche, like, you know, as the only Xavier in the old days can be. Very funny.
Yeah, check out the very bottom of the cover. Just those two words alone is telling the story.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. So let's see where we left off. Magneto in the driver's seat. Look at him standing over everybody, and there it is. Magneto triumphant. I love this. I mean, obviously, we're going to geek on John Byrne's talent for quite a number of months, more than likely. Yep. But I love when he gets the full team. I just love the colors, the layouts, the designs of their costumes. This is I could easily have called this the best page of the week.
This is awesome.
Jean Grey just looks so badass and
man.
She has another panel in this book where she looks just as badass, and it's just her face and her hand.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. But so yeah, this page is ridiculous. You know, I love this page, but I mean, between this and the next page, those to me are two of the best looking X-Men layout panels. I mean, it's the colors, it's great. It really is.
It always amazes me that Wolverine was the last to go. If Byrne didn't love him so much, he would have been first. Right? Those metal guys, they lasted impressively long in the issue overall.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the next one of Chet's faves here, the whole team and Cyclops trying to calm them. But then, of course, Cyclops as the leader, Nightcrawler, go check outside. And then I loved... So one thing I want to mention, and Chet, I'll let you get into like the team layout stuff here. I love that Byrne is getting real outside of the panels in this issue. And it's all the way through. If you haven't read this issue, all the way through, there's these little moments like Colossus's head, which I kind of blew up there, where his head is coming out of the frame and laying on top of Beast, who's on the bottom on the left side there. If this was laid out properly, you'd see that, but his head is enormous in this panel. The turn, the shininess, the eyes, his reaction to the scream from Nightcrawler. I just love that that Byrne is expanding beyond the panels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at this page. Magneto's talking like he's, you know, being sarcastic, and you could see the sarcasm in his face. You know, like, I'm the one who brought you here, and you're in a magnetic force, whatever. And he's just telling them, you guys are mine. There's nothing more to it.
It is a great drawing.
Colossus, look at Banshee's face, like, uh-oh, Storm, uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's everywhere in this book, man, and you're right. Colossus, I don't think I've, up to this point, reading the X-Men, I mean, this whole page, the group shot, it's well done. Cyclops is being the leader. hold on, guys, hold on. And it's just so well depicted and drawn. I don't even know how else to say it anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, detail work, the smoky bamf of Nightcrawler, all of it's just working.
Yeah.
I like Beast's reaction. Like, I feel like there's always somebody like around Nightcrawler that's like, "Oh, dude, come on,
smell and everything."
Yeah.
And it leads us to the reveal that Nightcrawler can't just go check outside because they are apparently, without knowing it, they are flying across the skies high up in the solar system, almost leaving our atmosphere. Sorry, and Nightcrawler's just hanging on to the stairs leading into the trailer.
So that was something my question was that I would think that they would have at least known that at this point that they were traveling and
if I can, in defense of Magneto's powers here, if you're in a magnetic force bubble, we're on Earth. We don't feel the Earth move, right? So I'm guessing, Magneto's powers are connected to the Earth. It's a magnetic force bubble. You're probably not going to feel like you're moving, but I'm just, hypothesizing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm right. I'm just trying to make a case for it because I know you think it's kind of corny that they're flying around in a bunch of 2x4 wood with a set of stairs and wheels. But to me, I'm like, oh, this is great. Look, they can't though, So
there's two layers.
I'll let you continue, brother.
Yeah, there's two layers to it for sure that I want to get into. I noticed that PJ mentions the X-Men sketch that Pete Holmes did with all the characters. So search Pete Holmes X-Men. You'll find all that stuff. It's hilarious.
Oh, cool.
Biggie Shaq is in the chat. Thank you, Biggie, for coming by. And TJ is here as well. No personal space with Magneto. So for me, the two things are, one, Justin, you mentioned like nobody notices that they've just flown up into the atmosphere of the planet Earth. Like nobody is aware, nobody feels any movement, jostling, no nothing, no nothing. There's no windows, nobody sees outside, the things moving, no knowledge of any of it. Sure. Right. But for me, it's the ridiculousness that gets me. It's like something out of a Bond movie, like it's like Moonraker style. Like he's got to take them in a flying. This guy can control metal. Why doesn't he just build a metal box out of any scraps around this place and then fly them in that? Like, why the wagon? The wagon is just weird to me. And looking at it, I laugh. Like I laugh every time I see a wagon flying through Earth's atmosphere.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh, but the way you're describing this is killing me.
Laugh, man, laugh. Hey, it's comics. It's funny books, right? We should be laughing. It should be fun. And I'm sure for if I was a kid reading this, and I was, I can't remember when I read the classic X-Men version, but I was pretty young. I probably did not notice at all, and I was like, "That looks freaking cool," because it's John Byrne drawing something amazing. But as an adult, I'm like, I don't know. It's comedic to me. It does make me giggle. What's up, Perry?
Perry.
I will say I almost picked this as my panel of the week as well. The sky and clouds beneath Nightcrawler when he's hanging there. The detail in the wagon, like it looks cool.
Mm-hmm. I love his clinging stance. Like, look at him just barely hanging on to that final step. Like, oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So I do love the look of it. Again, the high angle looking down, so you can see the ground and the clouds underneath him. Like, it's cool. Yeah. Jackson Roy Cook says, if it was a bubble, the wood wouldn't be left behind in the orbit like that. Just saying.
It's true.
But it looks cool. It shows the movement when you have the jettisoned pieces, right? It's leaking. Yeah, it's leaking wood. But so I had to go with Holy Flying Wagons, Batman.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, all right. I'll take the L on that one.
So then we get a Magneto's like, hey, you never really told us how you got here, and what's going on. So Magneto runs through his, previously on Magneto. Here's what I was up to, and all the stuff that Beast did I did it too. I was just like right behind him everywhere he went, like following him, which I also find hilarious. Like this carnival is bonkers, right? People who come to the carnival are like seeing all the freaks and they're like, hey, there's that blue furry guy in a trench coat. And there's this guy in a giant purple cape and a huge metal red and purple hat. Nobody's like, what do you do at the carnival?
You know what I did notice here, John? I don't know if you read it, but Magneto was there before Beast at the mansion.
Right.
And he's like checking the dust on the table, seeing that nobody's been around or anything like, and that's when Beast shows up, and then he's, follows him around. So I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that he's looking for the X-Men. He sees Beast, knows who that is, doesn't know what's up, but figures I'm going to follow this guy. The logic of him doing it makes total sense.
Yeah, I like that.
The logic of the people at the carnival not asking questions of these two guys is hilarious.
I do like that these past couple of
the furry guy in the trench coat he's looking a little weird.
I do like that these past two times where we've seen like a flashback, they've been better. Just like they're actually giving us information that is helpful, useful, as opposed to how it was in the first 10 issues or so, where we were just getting this kind of like,
right.
In case you missed the last episode, last issue, here's what happened, But
they also don't stay on it for very long. They kind of give you a page, and then it's like, we're going to move on from that. There's your little nugget, but the story is elsewhere. So we're going to keep.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is also, I appreciate that a ton. Hello, Superior Hero Reviews. What is up? So yeah, that's how Magneto got there and saw what was happening with Mesmero and took him out and took out Beast, I guess, as well. Knocked him out as well.
One blast. Two guys.
Hey.
He says it as well.
And then I think it's hilarious how quickly they just dispatched with Mesmero. It's like, I don't need this guy. So it's like he doesn't
need to be around for the main event.
He just drops him out. He just throws him out of the wagon. And this was, I guess I could say like one of my frustrations, like in a summation or whatever, is I loved the carnival. I loved Mesmero's like what he was doing, and to just completely junk it and not use that location and not use that guy anymore was like, well, then what was the point of all that? Like, it was a whole amazing setup issue for nothing.
Yeah, I was hoping that we'd get more about Mesmero, or at least like what happens next with Mesmero.
Because what was Mesmero's big plan with the carnival, anyways? Like, I just want to mess with the X-Men and watch them dance. Like, let me watch you dance, monkeys.
You wanted to make some extra money, just extra money.
He needed the money. That's always a good line. But I'm thinking that he's there. He had his chance to do whatever. Now, the goat of all mutant villains shows up, and I'm sorry, but there's not room for two villains to take out the X-Men. They're mine, and I'm going to kill them. You don't need to be here for that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get Magneto's side of this whole thing completely. From a writer's standpoint, I'm like, well, I like the carnival. Like, I want to know more about why is he putting them through this carnival thing? Why? It seemed like a very, in fact, twice in this issue, there seems like these over elaborate, easily escapable plots by villains that seem like out of Austin Powers or something. I'm not going to kill the X-Men. I'm going to dress them up as carnival freaks, and let's see if they ever figure it out. Yes, they'll never come up. No, I'm going to just assume it all goes to plan. What?
It is definitely a Dr. Evil strategy for sure.
But I do love Magneto's like, you and your carnival stuff. You're out. You're done. Peace.
Yeah. I like the Magneto way. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's hilarious. And then for some reason, we have to cut to these pilots that are following along like, oh, we will follow this weird green and purple guy and see what happens to him. So Mesmero survives, spoiler alert, but he is, again, just as superfluous as anything else going on right now. Junk him. And then, now I broke this into I'm going to repeat a couple of these drawings, but another Austin Powers moment. The secret volcano lair. Hilarious. I was like, this is watching a wagon come out of Earth's atmosphere and go into an Antarctic volcano lair. I'm like, Okay, we have achieved Austin Power level here.
Magnetic force bubble.
I'm not saying it doesn't make comic book sense. I just think it's hilarious to watch a wagon flying out of outer space and going down into an Antarctic volcano lair. So I was giggling, but the art is so detailed. I want to get to. I blew it up because I wanted to like amazing. It looks gorgeous, even though you're looking at it going, "There's a wagon going into a volcano."
Yeah. Yeah, the lava and everything, it really does look dope the way it's like.
Oh,
well,
It's so well drawn. I mean, look at the third panel, the very middle panel. You can see like the red of it, like the passageway of the bubble. I dig it. I'm sorry. Forget Austin Powers. This is just dope to me.
it's beautiful to look at, no question. And when I love the last one when he blasts the wagon apart and they're all like falling and he's just like catching them all.
Shrapnel everywhere.
Oh man, it's beautiful to look at. But I caught myself giggling and had to like stop and then read and like, okay.
I think the first time I read this, I was like, "Oh man, they're in real trouble."
Oh man, you got lava and frozen tundra above you, and Jackson Roy Kirk says at first I thought he was going to the Savage Land. Spoiler alert! Previously, he did have another layer in the Savage Lands that he brought the X-Men to down in the southern pole area of the Earth.
And I don't want to give it away, but he built this with the Savage Land in mind.
Yeah.
Because it's literally not too far away.
Right.
Not at all. In fact, I think one of the like fun facts for this issue is the fact that this is his third Antarctic lair.
Wow.
Take 3 for Magneto's Antarctic layers. I also love this little layout here. It reminded me a ton of the like bases in the original Secret Wars, Mike Zack work. Like I love the look of it and the layout of it. I like that they gave us this in the spread page here. Looks cool. I dig this.
Mm-hmm.
And how genius is Magneto to build a complex inside of a volcano?
Right.
Then again, how powerful he must be to do that, So
Magic Lasso says the GPS puts it Savage Land at 6.4 miles away.
Be sure to book an Uber, Savage Land Uber.
Put it in Waze.
I'm sure there's a wagon.
The wagon.
All right, so the second they are set free, Cyclops dives right into a sort of uncoordinated, we got to just make this up as we go along kind of attack, which obviously this is not the villain you want to pull that move on, but it's all the options they had left to them. So this is where the issue got exciting for me. This is the best stuff in this issue.
Yes.
Byrne's ability to control movement and action and all the different, suck it, Rob Liefeld. This is how you do feet and hands and perspective and all the things that like artists should be able to do.
Yeah.
It's all happening here.
It all makes sense. Yeah.
I remember the first time they faced him, you'd think some of them would have learned, but I guess they haven't been at the mansion to actually go through like data files and actually get a grasp on who Magneto is. But
that was my problem.
A couple of them suffer the same exact fate.
Well, that was my problem the first time around. Was I was thinking like they never heard, like the new team never heard of Magneto. Like Xavier never thought to like just at some point educate them and say, by the way, like we took care of this guy, but at one point there was a guy who has these powers and he's really difficult to beat. Like no one told him that. And then to your point, now it's like I don't know how long since then, but you would think they would know by now or learn
by now. Yeah.
I will also say, like in the defensive continuity, I would have, like you want to cover all your bases, but they don't know they're in a comic. So Xavier's like, hey, he's like a baby now. Like I don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, that too.
And that so it never came up. Todd, I'm just throwing shots. I do own New Mutants 98 and 87 and lovely slabbed copies of it. But I do like to take some shots every once in a while because I have reread those. I reread those issues as an adult, and there is plenty of like, come on, man, you're a professional. So there we go. But great fights. I love the way he's throwing people around. I don't quite understand how he throws around people without metal in their body so easily. I've never remembered
iron in your blood. That's a Magneto trick. The iron in your blood.
Yeah, I don't remember him being so. I mean, obviously, this is the Magneto at the height of his powers. He repeatedly mentions like coming out of the childlike state and how the accelerated X, Y, and Z, whatever, is like at such a level that he is doing things he's never been able to do before.
Right.
Even later on, I don't necessarily remember him being able to throw around people based on the blood in their bodies very often.
I've read that several different places, especially in this run. I just forget where. When I find it, I will bring it up again.
Yeah, I'm just not as aware of it. And this is the first time I've seen it done on this level. Usually I just see him. I mean, if I was him, I just grab Colossus and use him as a weapon and hit everybody with Colossus.
Yeah, he does it in this issue later on.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, that comes around.
Oh.
No, it's not. I mean, who cares? This book is what?
It's 40 years
how many years old is it? This book's like 50 years old. We're good. So let's see. Then we get Storm. And I mean, I dig these panels as well. You get a little booty shot. But for me, I was so disappointed that she has him on the ropes and she holds back.
Yeah.
Because, she doesn't want to kill anybody.
Which I respect. That's where she, that's, at this point in her life, that's been her persona.
Yeah, she stays true to that. Her and Colossus stay true to the whole thou shalt not kill thing for a long time. Eventually we end up getting to it though.
Well, Callisto will do that to anybody. Storm and Callisto. I love these layouts. I love the way like Magneto's in the gold there and it's like flowing across him. Then their powers are so opposite yet also like interconnected because weather on our planet and magnetism have a lot of. I dig that their battles, and this is I was sad it was only a page, but it's a good page.
Yeah, that second panel
really quick.
That second panel is I wish we kind of seen a little bit more of that style of. I mean, we do in other aspects, but for that weather type of thing, it really it's awesome.
I love the first panel. Look at her hands. I mean, hands are difficult enough to draw. But to put them, like literally in a power position, the way he's got them, that's awesome.
Yeah, great flex on the fingers, which is a burn trait. I feel like he nails hands consistently like that.
Yeah, and expression as well. Yeah, you're right.
Totally. And then we get to Nightcrawler, who was originally planning on hiding, but he decides to do sneak attack moves. And that's when the Colossus thrown around as a weapon moment happens, and I think it's very clever move by Magneto. One of the best, like I outthink this team perfectly moments.
Yeah, the part where you said that he was hiding, I wanted to bring that up. Was that kind of another glimpse to that time that we saw him at the Cassidy Keep Castle?
Something like that. It's right. In this case, he's like, "Oh, here we go. Here's Magneto beating the crap out of us again." Is something to that effect of what he says, and he's hiding, literally hiding. So when he's in that shadow,
his skin, skin, when he's in the shadows and his skin kind of melds into the shadows.
Yeah. You just see his eyes.
That's it. Yeah, I'm trying to find it for you. What my hand keeps touching. There it is. Well, I guess I can't do it.
It's all good. I didn't put it. Did I put it in the last?
Can you see
here it
is?
Oh, you got it. There you go. He's got it. Yeah, you can just see like his eyes and his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
And if you see his arm, it almost looks like it's fading a little bit. So I assumed it was the same ability being sort of flexed twice.
Yeah.
I love the way he does that. He's hiding. Like, geez, am I supposed to go out there? I mean, it's well done. They do his powers again in the darkness. He blends in. He says, "You know what? I better come out and play."
Yeah, he knows that it's like teamwork or nothing. Like at this point. And then Banshee whips, into the action. And he's blasting, and then I like the shift there because Banshee's powers should be effective against Magneto, but Magneto using metal to reflect or refract the noise back at Banshee. That was cool, and I'd never seen that move before.
You remember what he did to him last time? The iron filings, he solidified them around him.
Yes, and made him into like a statue. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was a nice change up.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And more fitting for Banshee's power set.
Right.
I thought it was interesting, too, that Colossus had to make a decision when they were about to collide on, like, he understands that, like, he's obviously much more protected and stronger when he's in his other form. But him colliding, he immediately realized that will most likely kill Nightcrawler if he doesn't swap. So it's cool to just kind of see that quick panel, too.
Yeah, totally. And then we got Cyclops just blasting away. I like that he's just going full bore. There's nothing. He's got no choices. He knows that this has been a fight that they probably can't win, and he's just trying to do enough to allow somebody like Phoenix, who's next up, to get in there. And of course, the Phoenix panels are just fire. Like
that first one is ridiculous,
gorgeous.
Yep, I want a poster of that.
You said that every time there's one of these.
Yeah.
Give me some wall art. Where's the wall art?
I want to point out too that I like seeing how Cyclops is thinking. We were supposed to be a team, as he says there at the top left. That they could have like taken him out and if they worked as a team. And I just thought about we were talking how Nightcrawler, he took the time to like hide at first. By the time he did jump out and play, it was kind of too late. Guys were being tossed around left and right. And then even like they just took turns. Like Banshee came in and, imagine if, as he's thinking there, if we just all just, did this at one time, maybe they could have beaten him. Maybe they could have, thrown him off. I'm thinking where Nightcrawler could have like bamfed and took his helmet at that point. And while he's dealing with all these other things, because he does have to like take time to deal with these things. If it all happened at once, I think they could have done it. But
I'll tell you though, to the point you're expressing, you see this here and you get a quick education going into the next issue. It's like, okay, they've cleaned up the lineup. They've got their leadoff hitters and they've got their cleanup guys,
right.
And they've adjusted accordingly to the pitcher on the mound. So I think that it goes in perfect flow, and you're definitely right. Yep. You get to see the novices, and then we get to see the learned man, so to speak.
Absolutely. So Phoenix takes her shot, but she feels her power draining here when he is able to affect the magnetic forces of Earth and putting a bottle basically on her and draining her life energy out of her. I'm going to go over these panels a couple of times. I wanted to make them kind of big here with that amazing Phoenix face, the hand.
That's the one I was talking about.
Oh my God. And then the one next to where she's falling down and it's almost like a waterfall of fire. Magneto got the hands up in the air, and then Wolverine using the distraction to take a shot. I love this. I love it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to highlight yet again coming out of the panels.
Because you can almost touch it. It's really nice.
Yeah, Wolverine's claws, when he's ripping at Magneto's cape, come up and into the panel above it. And I freaking love that. It looks so cool.
Yep. Absolutely.
I just love it. So these are probably mine. If I had to pick one, I mean, it's just
that
amazing.
Phoenix hand is killer. I once drew this picture in one of my art books. It's like getting the wrist to the finger action is the hardest part.
I can't even imagine.
It's so fun though.
Put this down as another poster that I
So, yeah, and of course, this leads to the cover moment with Wolverine's claws being forced against himself. And honestly, it reminded me of my brothers taking my hand and like hitting me with my own hand. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. So much so that I had to blow up that panel of Wolverine actually punching himself. And it says underneath brow, which I thought, I just laughed like, brow? I've never heard that as like a noise when something punches brow.
When metal hits metal, no less.
Yeah. So I just laughed when I saw that. I mean, the pose is amazing. As always, Burns got it all happening. But I instantly laughed. I was like, oh man.
I like the second panel. It's like you see the horror in his eyes. Like, is this really happening?
Yeah, you never usually see his eyes, but they gave him two pupils there in that second panel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you get the Kirby crackle on Magneto as he's like, I've won. I've faced the deadliest foes and I beat them all. So he's doing his victory lap there over everybody. It's amazing.
Holding that cape up.
Right.
And next he takes them to day camp or daycare.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, yeah, that's exactly what's up. First appearance of Nanny, and Magneto's evil plan is hilariously Austin Powers-y in several ways, but it's awesome. Bring in the nanny robot. He's strapped them all down, and he says, "I'm not going to kill you. When I was first resurrected, I determined to kill you all, but I've since found a better revenge. This is Nanny. She will tend your every need. In all respects, you'll find her to be the perfect mother." This complex will be your home and prison, X-Men. These chairs your cells. Their circuitry is locked into your central nervous system. But rather than bore you with words, I think a demonstration is in order. Try to use your powers. Try to speak. And there you will find the last of night's surprises. And then, of course, the horror on their faces when they realize that their neural networks have been scrambled in such a way that they are unable to do the most basic things. For me though, of course, Chet's a big fan too of look at the detail on the face of.
I love his words.
So great.
His words are the best part of this page. Where he says, "You're not gonna die, but you'll soon wish you were dead." Mm-hmm. I don't even have to see that part. I just know it because of this panel and the detail in his face. Like, "Yep, I got you. You're mine. It's over for you. That's it. It's as serious as a heart attack." The way he's drawn there.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's great. He is pure evil. He clearly has a plan to torture them, but it cracks me up like I'm going to put them in an overly complicated, evilly escapable plan and assume over the plan. What? Like,
bring out the sharks with lasers.
I wanted Magneto's son to come out and be like, I have a gun in my room. We'll just go and shoot him. Why are we doing this? We can do it together. Like, we're gonna shoot him.
He's like, zip it.
Where's Scott Evil? I need Scott Evil to come in.
Oh, that's great.
So, and again, what a great close-up. You don't need his mouth. You have the words. You have the eyes. You have the shadow work. The shadow work on this piece. It's not even a full page. It's like a half-page art piece. It's just awesome. The depth. You see there's distance between the front of the mask and his eye. Like,
yeah. Even the other the panel before this with all of their heads as they're all trying to struggle. The detail on that I think is great too. Just seeing it in their eyes, the fear and just knowing that they can't get out, that they're screwed. It says a lot.
I think that in this panel as well, it's like you figure Beast, Jean, and Cyclops, they're used to this at some point, right? Since 1963, they've been facing the guy. Yeah. But it doesn't look here like they have any confidence in anything.
Not at all.
And you can definitely see the terror in the bottom row.
Oh yeah, I love the Nightcrawler face. It's probably my favorite.
Banshees to me says a lot.
Oh, big time. Yep.
He's like, is this man's crazy? He flew us in space and he took us in a volcano. What next?
It's over.
Absolutely. It's over. So let's get into the details here. The first appearance of Nanny, Magneto's robot. The first appearance of Magneto's third lair in Antarctica. Yeah, there's 3. The first layer was in the Savage Lands during X-Men 61 and 62. The second was in Defenders issues 15 and 16. And then now we've got this one. So he's got a lot of prime Antarctic real estate, people. He's doing it down there. He's got whole teams of people building new layers down there.
And an asteroid named M.
Right? Yeah. Nobody gives Magneto credit for property.
He's a real estate man for sure.
He would get along, I think, well with Lex Luthor in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
4 artists worked on this cover. So we mentioned Bob Layton, George Perez, Danny Crespi. I'm not sure. And then you mentioned, I said I found an article mentioning that Dave Cockrum had done some of the like framing for it, and then all these other artists worked on it. So a ton. And the everywhere on this, it says now on sale monthly. This is a big deal because the public, it had not been a monthly publication for quite a while, since issue 66.
I told you about this last time. I made a mistake. I said bi-weekly. I meant month. It went from bi-monthly to monthly, and this is right when I started getting into them like hardcore, and I kept bugging the guy in that store. So yeah, it definitely saved my life that they started coming out once every month,
right?
As opposed to once every 2 months and biting your fingernails off,
right?
Waiting for the stuff like this.
Yeah. So this was a big deal, and it would be saying now on sale monthly for a little while until officially becoming the Uncanny. The next time the title changes, it becomes Uncanny. So we are done with all new, all different. We're now on sale monthly, and then soon enough, Uncanny is. I'm going to be able to change these slides so that it's Uncanny for a good long while.
Uncanny begins in 114.
Yes, sir. See, look, the master down there.
Stop. You wound me.
Oh, come on. So a 9.8 of this book goes for $475.
Not bad.
The multiplier is a little over ×2. A 9.6 going for $190. There are about 135 9.8s, 262 9.6s, 251 9.4s. So I think the numbers are starting to regulate a little bit after the insanity of those first 10 issues. So finding a little even ground. Of course, they will spike again when we start getting into some key first appearances coming up here and into some huge events as well. Phoenix sagas and Days of Future Pasts and things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's pretty much the math on this guy. I can't. Did anybody have anything else about this issue they wanted to mention, fact wise?
I'm trying to think.
I think I found most everything, but every once in a while I miss something.
1 sec here. I was just gonna.
I'm kind of surprised that it's a 9.8 is in the 400s. Or I guess maybe. I guess this is still a little earlier. What year did this come out? This was
77.
Oh, okay. So I guess maybe because
He's got the slab right there.
This one is excuse me, August of 78.
Okay.
78.
Because I know some of the other. I mean, I guess when we're getting into like the 120s, 130s, some of them, other than the keys, the 9.8 is like 300 for certain ones. I don't know. Or didn't we just one of them was 300 that we just did, or last issue was like 300.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like I feel like I mean that's a really big one. I don't know. Maybe it's the cover here. I just feel like 111 is just as big as this one in terms of like I guess the story and stuff, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you put Magneto on a cover and
yeah,
boom,
true.
it's all done. It's like Joker in a Batman comic.
It's like the next set of these books are. I mean, I'm surprised. This 111 and 112 and 113 even. I thought they would be in terms of value a little higher. 114 keeps that same pace. 115's a pain in the ass.
I will say Go Collect, I feel like is always a little behind whatever eBay is doing. So these are Go Collects from TJ, and I sometimes feel like I go and check on sold prices on eBay, and they if they're on the rise, the Go Collect is using averages from quite a while back, so it's using a larger pool of information. If you were looking at a very short piece of information, just say the last 2 months, maybe you might see a higher value just because the book is going up. versus the longer form version of Where's the Price is going to be looking back a little bit with more information.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden Gem, what is up? Thank you for coming, man. And we have Magic Glasses saying Magneto has a villain lair timeshare.
An Airbnb.
So there you go. That is on sale monthly, X-Men issue 112. Another one in the book, but hey, now we're gearing up for 113 and the end of this battle. This who's going to come out on top? Magneto at his peak with a robot nanny at his side, and the new X-Men bound and gagged.
I'm going to add, if you thought the art in 111 and 112 were just that spectacular, 113 is just ridiculous. I mean, it's like goosebump art. Unreal. I mean, it's almost bringing tears to my eyes just thinking about how well it was drawn. I mean, all three of these books, like I told you, you already know, I hate repeating it, but those three books are the impact of my X-Men existence, man. I mean, like reading 110, great, it got me on board. 111, whoa, where's this going? 112, yo, these guys are real. 113, no, really? And it just builds. It just keeps building, and it's like it doesn't stop. Then they just get into more characterization and deeper in terms of like the whole history of the X-Men, where they've been, and it just keeps going. I'm going to just keep rambling. So somebody.
Well, no, I mean, I think for anyone who gets into a story, a universe of characters, there's always those I did a show with TJ talking about God Loves Man Kills and how that graphic novel, I should say, impacted his life and was like, okay, I'm in on the X-Men now. Like I'm this universe has connected to me in such a significant way. I don't remember exactly. I think that might have been right around the 120 to 130 time when God Loves Man. Let me grab the other. It's in one of the other two Omnis I got, so I can check.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, God Loves Man Kills. It awakens you in terms of where the X-Men are actually pointed in terms of topic. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to figure it out just reading that, and it makes a whole lot more sense than just reading them versus the villains in the books. Right. So that's how very important that graphic novel is, actually.
And that's the 80s. You're saying?
I think it's the early 80s or late 70s. I'm going to go with 82. 82 is my guess.
They've got it as part of Volume 3, which includes issues in the 150s to 175s.
Was it that late?
That's where they included it here. It doesn't necessarily mean that's when it came out, but I would assume that there's a chronological element.
I think you
God Loves Man Kills, 1982.
Yeah, good call.
So those of you, the Volume 3 just dropped a couple of weeks ago. And then Volume 4 of these Omnis is being reprinted in, I think, the very end of February is when my LCS is going to get it. I think Amazon has it at the very beginning of March.
Mm-hmm. Mine's on its way, the Volume 3.
Nice.
Should be here. It's taken. They always send it media mail. I hate that, but
it's that Justin kid again. Send it media mail.
yeah, exactly.
Well, and I will say, like, you can tell right where the graphic novel God Loves Man Kills fits in because it's a darker. It's right there. Like it's almost like having a Mark Jeweler variant, right? It's like you can see it right there in the middle.
Wow.
But obviously, that's a book. If you can get a copy in the larger format of those graphic, it's just a masterpiece. And there's
it is.
He said this train doesn't get off its rails. It goes off its rails hard when the first Jubilee comes along. Hey, look out! You're gonna get White Whale Comics upset. He's a big Jubilee fan. That's hilarious. Let's see. Johnny Boy says, I've never read any Marvel. I tried reading Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt because I always heard good things, but couldn't get into it. Any good X-Men? I mean, if you want to, like, obviously we're saying like jumping out of giant size and going right through where Claremont first took over is pretty amazing. But if you just want a single read, sit down, what's it all about? I think God Loves, Man Kills is it's hard not to just fall in love with these characters there. I think it's a beautiful piece, Johnny Boy. If you want to give it a shot, if you have the digital, version, the Marvel app, just go search God Loves, Man Kills. It's an easy one to find. It's a graphic novel, so the format was larger, but it's an all-time classic. It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece.
And in the meantime, read these issues that we're going with. Just keep reading along with us.
Yeah, if you got the
Marvel can't go wrong with reading what we're on topic with right now.
Yeah, just jump right in. We're into the good stuff. So anytime really.
Look, everybody's telling me where it was, but I didn't need to run off. Everybody's letting me know. That's hilarious. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We like to wrap up every one of these episodes with a little trivia about the previous show we did. So rewarding those of you that hung out with us and come back, because your correct answers in our chat give you chances to win an Omnibus Volume 2 right there behind Justin.
It could be yours.
As well as an X-Men mystery box from me. Sometime here in 2021, as we get deep near to the end, I think, of this first Omnibus, we're going to do a giveaway and reward people by pulling a raffle ticket for the Omnibus. And then whoever is at the top on the rankings of most correct answers and points overall has a shot at getting that mystery box from me. So we're going to give away a couple of things here in this first round of the show.
And I've also given the okay to do I got to get the okay from John and Justin to do a giveaway of my own through them. Oh. So I'm donating a prize as well.
Chet is in.
Yeah. So Chet has a big prize that he has our blessing. Absolutely. Yep. So he's got something in the works as well when we get to that giveaway that we're going to probably pull a second raffle ticket for. So getting the first person to get a correct answer earns a raffle ticket in the overall. So getting that answer in quick and is a great thing to do. And then when we do the prizes, we'll pull the first winner for the Omni. Second winner gets the Chet prize. And then whoever's left on the overall rankings, the top person is going to win the
Somebody must be stuck in ice in my neighborhood. I didn't even realize it was snowing.
Sure, right? Chet has our blessing. Chet absolutely has all blessings. Ooh, Volume 5 is in August. Well, good. That gives me a chance to save up a little money because omnibuses
My apologies.
They add up. They add up quick. Yep.
They said that the wait between Volumes 4 and 5 won't be as long. 3 and 4 were several years apart. Dear Lord, that's not acceptable. That is unacceptable. Okay, so we're going to ask some questions. You in the chat need to reply. First person gets raffle ticket and 2 points. The second person with a correct answer also gets a point on the overall rankings. So you definitely want to enter your answer and hopefully get a second place point. Also, we like to reward comedy. So those of you that make us laugh the most, you're going to get overall points as well. Right now, the standings have Magic Lasso right behind our leader, I Got Issues. Then we've got Chet right there in third place. We got Beta Ray Jim and Jackson Roy Kirk not far behind. So they are the top overall, but we've got lots of people on the list. And of course, you don't need to worry about overall rankings. If you get in that raffle, you've got just as much a shot to win as anybody.
I can't believe Issues is still in first. It's crazy.
Dude, I know. And he's taking this whole month off. So this is really the last chance to guarantee he is not going to be here in the audience.
Deal with the devil.
Right?
Take advantage of it.
Time to clean up on some points.
Yep.
So did you want to go first tonight, Justin? What are you thinking?
Sure. Yeah, let's see. The first question for me is, what did Jean call Cyclops while they were under their hypnotic spell there when they were in the back after the circus show was over? Cyclops showed up. Well, Jean called him because Beast was trying to talk to her, and she freaked out about it, and so she called a certain someone, and I already see the answer
right there. Magic Lasso.
Yeah.
2 points and a raffle ticket.
So on
Slim. Which I want to say he was called before, right? Wasn't he called that in the back in the day? He had that.
He was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Which makes sense because he is yoked.
I have Jackson Roy Kirk as the number
Jackson
2 there.
Roy second. Yep. There you go, Jackson Roy Kirk.
A couple funny ones.
I'm gonna go with Brow because it is on point with tonight's issue. Hidden Gem, that might be your first one here, brother.
Nice.
I don't see you on the list so far. That is a comedy point for you, good sir. All right. So the Brow. Slappy. They called him Slappy Summers. All right. So my question is, what was the stage name for Jean Grey? Jean Grey was a trapeze performer. What was her stage name? This could lead to a lot of good comedy, I'm just going to say. What was her stage name? Because couldn't just call her Jean Grey. It's kind of boring. Kind of boring.
Jezebel.
Right. Red. Just called her Red. Man, on fire tonight. This chat is ready.
I know this answer. I'm angry. I can't answer.
Yeah.
That is the downfall. That's the downfall, chat, of being on. You're going to be 3 in a row. You're missing out.
Yep.
3 opportunities.
I'll probably be in 9th place next Tuesday.
I see one correct answer, and now officially Magic Lasso has tied I Got Issues. It is tied up. So Magic Lasso's got another raffle ticket and is officially tied the big guy. So I'm waiting for one more person to get the correct answer. I'm going to give Kachung comedy points for Firebird Fanny.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That's a good name for her.
I like it.
It sounds like she had got her powers through bean eating.
Right. Jackson Roy Kirk, second correct answer. So he gets a point there. 29. The Glamazon. Hey, you've gone all the way to the top, Lasso. You're at the top now. You're performing at the highest levels.
Wait, so he's gotten 3, right? We have 3 in a row for the number 1 spot that he's got. That's what I confirm.
Let's see. He did. Yeah. Let's see. That was my first question. So that's 2 in a row tonight.
That was
my first question, wasn't it? Yeah. And you did.
Oh.
I did Ms. So that's 2 raffle tickets tonight.
I'm jumping ahead. Yep. I added a third already.
You're on your second question now.
All right. So this one, I'm going to add a little extra. The answer to the question, there's technically 2 answers. So if you answer one, if you're the first person to answer one, then you will get your raffle ticket submission. If you can name both, I will give you an additional if you're the first to name both. And so meaning if someone names it once, they are in. And if you still follow up and say that second one as well, then I'm actually going to give 2 out in this sense. So
it's 2 raffle tickets. One person could get both with a full answer.
Right.
Okay. But
yep.
If one answer gets ahead of you, then they get a point, you get a point for getting the second half.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
All right. So the question is, who was the character or who were the characters on my T-shirt from last episode?
Everybody's like, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this is the shirt itself wasn't really on screen very.
Oh, he froze up.
Yeah, he left up.
He froze right then.
Wow. That'll give people time to answer.
All right, I can freeze up. Honestly, the truth is, I don't remember, so I got to go back.
I don't remember either.
If I'm not going
back. I can't score.
Oh man, let's see if I can find. Oh,
he's coming.
There he is.
Oh man, that was weird. I got kicked off for a second. Yeah. Oh man,
all right. He's back.
My bad. All right, that was weird. Anyways, yes. What did I miss? Who did
Nothing. I don't know if anybody answered yet.
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying it was barely on screen for a second, and then we lost you for a second, And people are mentioning some characters, but I honestly forgot who was on your shirt. So I don't know if there's a correct answer at this point.
Oh man, all right, let me take a look here.
Everything after Hidden Gem said LOL is going to be answers for this round.
So I do see one of the names.
One of the two names people can get a raffle ticket for.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, I do remember now. Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
I do remember the other character. Okay. So I see who got it correct. They got one raffle ticket, that person. Now they get 2 overall points for each answer, right?
Yeah, right. No. So the person who has said it right now, they will get 1. Okay. They have an opportunity to still get a second one by putting the second character, or someone else can get 1 by putting it if they get it first. And someone should still answer anyways to go to your raffle.
Right. So I see half of it, but usually this character has somebody else with them at the same time.
Yeah. That's where
it just dawned on me because I was like, oh, I got to buy that shirt. I want to get one of those. So now it's all here.
It's funny because people. What I was saying before was that I only showed it like the one time I stood up and actually like showed the shirt. So people that might be flipping through right now might not easily see it.
I'll give TJ points for Reggie and Matt. No, it is not your 2 besties. It's not them, but I'll give you a comedy point, Mr. TJ. But Lasso did. I'm not saying which of Lasso's answers is correct, but Lasso did get one of them correct. And the other one. I see the other one.
Yeah.
It was Kitty Pryde and Lockheed in the pirate swag of Marauders doing the old got a little captain in them.
Captain Pride.
That was a great shirt.
My favorite.
So another so 2 raffle tickets for Lasso right then.
Yeah.
And I'm doing double points for Lasso, 2 and 2.
Oh right, yes. Someone else can still put the correct answer.
You can get a bonus 1 point by just naming both real quick.
Yep.
But yeah, usually you can't have one without the other. That's what Don is like. Don, like, who else was on?
You start yelling Peg.
While we're waiting for somebody to throw that answer out there, I'm going to do my final question of the night. Last week they were stuck in a carnival of horror, and on the cover, it's a great cover. You have the carnival barker is there. Banshee is being a carnival barker and shouting it out. And we jokingly said that a lot of speed readers mistakenly think a classic X-Men villain is the carnival barker. Who do people think is the carnival barker, even though it is Banshee for sure? Who do some people mistakenly think is the carnival barker? PJ, you get the bonus point there, brother. I'm adding you in for another bonus point, my man.
Nice job, PJ.
Yep, good following up.
So who do people mistakenly think is the carnival barker on that cover? And they's wrong. Boom. Jackson Roykirk with a 2-point conversion there.
Nice.
And gets the raffle ticket. Follow-up point is, Magic Lasso gets 1 point for the second answer. And waiting for a good comedy bit here. I'll go Bill Belichick. There you go. Mistakenly, people think it's Bill Belichick. Acceptable, PJ. Acceptable.
Yeah.
Fabio says TJ. Sorry, TJ. PJ. This was
more Pete Carroll than Bill Belichick.
Yeah, he does look a little more like.
I want to say a huge thank you to you, Chet, for coming by and doing this. This is, the perfect person for these 3 issues, absolutely. And if you want more Chet, obviously you can see him next week on KnowGood Comics when we do issue 113. But you should also follow him on Instagram and see.
Let's follow you back, guys.
all that signature slab goodness right there on the CHETTeyeKNIGHT.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Always fun. Thanks for the invites. I'll be glad to be back next week for all that knock'em sock'em action coming up.
And Beta Ray, thank you, brother, he was like, you know what, I want to see Chet-Eye on this 3-issue saga.
I owe him a thank you for this one. He emailed me, and I was like, do I really want to pull him away from that? And I thought about it, and then you got in touch with me. And I said, you know what, I'll take the offer. Thank you, Beta. Much
it's
appreciated.
Always better to have somebody who has a real connection with the issues to have and be able to talk about it, because it really puts another layer of context. And that's so. Thank you for doing that,
guys. It's really that much fun to me.
So, Beta, make sure I got to check in with you on Instagram. Remind me to give you the upcoming issues that we don't have guests for, so you can pick the one that you want to dive in on. So we want to make sure we give you something that you're pumped on for sure.
Yep.
Justin, you got anything coming up that you want to let people know? I know that I caught the tail half of the Just Rican interview that he did last weekend that was hilarious and awesome. That was fantastic. So if you guys missed his interview with Rod last weekend on his community shout out, it was awesome. I loved it.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, and also when I was talking to Rod, I think I'm going to be joining you, John, along with Old Wolf and Rod to do a little tag team Thursday this Thursday. I'm going to give it a shot. And I'll follow up. I guess I'll follow up after Old Wolf. I'll talk to you a little more in detail about it.
Sounds good.
That just means there's no more Thursday night football.
Right. Well, that was like, this is perfect. I can fit in. I could do this. The tag team Thursday. This works out.
Awesome.
So I have that, and then I have the Comic Collector Origins coming up this Saturday. So I'm actually gonna have Karate Kevin on as my guests.
Super Power Review.
Yeah. So looking forward to that, and that's kind of some of the things I'm going on right now.
Awesome. For me, I don't know who's hosting book club tomorrow, but DC fans, I'm going to be breaking down a couple of new DC Batman books. Batman Superman by Ben Oliver and the Batman Black and White issue 2. So we'll be doing that on book club tomorrow night. I don't know if it's on White Whale's channel or mine, because we skipped a week, so we're a little out of sync. I'll have to check in on that. Like KnowGood said, we're doing Tag Team Thursday. I drop in my pull list video what books I'm picking up. There's a ton of books coming out in a week, and this week as well, but next week as well. So a ton of great books coming out to be talking about. And then Saturday night, I'm doing another Drinks and Movies look at musicals with my buddy Bearded Comic Bro. We're specifically looking at animated family movies, musicals, and then movies that are, would you count that as a musical kind of movies? Because there's a ton of movies with great music all throughout. But is it a musical? Because is it considered a musical just because of how they use the music in the movie? So,
John, I wanted to say one thing. I was very impressed with your unboxing slabs the other day, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, obviously you would, because of how many 9/8s I had in there. Not normal for me.
That was good stuff, man. Yeah, you got the return on your cash, if you ask me.
Oh,
good stuff.
Absolutely. I still can't. So those that don't know, I went 9 of 14, 9/8 white pages, which is stupid. Like
I didn't check yours. I saw it, but I was busy, so I haven't been able to see it. But I'm going to watch your unboxing video that you had the other day too.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I used to joke that my daughters had more 9/8s than I did, because they legitimately did. They had like 6, and I had 2. But now I'm like, suck it, girls. I got you beat.
Yo, listen, not for nothing. That just goes to show me that they're being raised right.
Yeah.
Okay. They got 9/8s. They can talk to Uncle Chet anytime they want. Okay, and they need to put their daddy in line with all these 9/2s.
I will say, they don't have any X-Men books yet. I've got the X-Men slabs.
I'll handle that if they need one.
They're very into Archie and Art Germ, and so they got a lot of that kind of stuff going on.
So they got the eye for the abstract art and all that too.
There you go.
Very well raised young ladies. I'm so proud of you.
I love my girls, and it's fun to be able to have people here to talk comics with, man, at home, because
sure.
My wife's like, I'll watch the movies, but you take the books away. Thanks everybody for coming. Beta Ray said it perfectly. Stay safe. Have a great week. And next week, we're back on Justin's channel. So we'll see you back there for issue 113 with the Chedai in the house.
I'll be here, guys. Great to see you all.